Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thursday's market intel brief here at Top Gun Options. My name is Matthew Buckley. My call sign is Wiz, and the president kind of throwing a little volatility into the markets today. It's a Thursday morning tweet storm out of the president, with, of course, the liberal media more or less taking away from this that the president wants to delay the election. He's talking about the mail-in ballots and how it's going to be the most inaccurate and fraudulent election in history. Delay the election until people can properly, securely, and safely vote. That's just not what is needed here. I agree with the mail-in ballots are wrought with fraud. Lived down in Broward County with that disgraceful Broward voting commissioner, whatever her name was. They got fired by the governor eventually. Oh, we found some boxes in a rental car, a couple boxes of ballots in this closet over here, and yeah, we're going to count them. It's a disgrace. I mean, the fact that Democrats want mail-in voting so badly tells you exactly all you need to know about this. But the president just kind of all over the place this morning on Twitter, from the China virus to mail-in voting to NATO stuff, and it's just it wasn't needed. In sad news, former presidential candidate Herman Cain has passed away. And then disgusting, disgraceful human beings like Ana Navarro. Of course, she puts like conservative, or she's a CNN contributor, and the woman's just a disgrace. And of course, Twitter is alive right now with people dancing on this man's grave because he didn't wear a mask at the Trump rally in Tulsa or something like that. COVID doesn't care about partisanship. You see the true nature of people in times like this. Instead of celebrating the man's life, and that this is a tragedy, even if you didn't agree with him. The same thing with John Lewis. I'm like, hey man, the guy died. I'm a part of mankind. We're all a part of each other, and any man's loss, minimizes me. However, John Lewis was a partisan, a hyper partisan, and a very destructive person to this country. He didn't go to George Bush's inauguration. He didn't go to Trump's inauguration. He was a petulant child, and his congressional district, if you forgive my French, was a shithole. But Herman Cain, Godfather's Pizza, very, very successful businessman and presidential candidate. And oh, by the way, the media is not reporting, the man had advanced stage 4 colon cancer. So, of course, that didn't have anything to do at all with his passing away. So God bless Herman Cain. So a little bit of volatility in the market. We're off the lows of the day. The S&P has made a nice turn. Amazon's going on a tear here. These Amazon calls are up almost $2,000. Kind of a flat opening out of Amazon, and right around, I don't know, 11:15, the thing just started taking off. This tells me that's, obviously we're having, what is it, FAAG after the close. We got Facebook, Amazon, Apple, and Google. I'll never call it Alphabet. It's Google. Always will be. But that was a big run out of Amazon, out of the blue on nothing. So I don't know if some advanced earnings got released or what. Speaking of insider trading, we bought some puts on Kodak today. We went out a month down to the 20 strike. Kodak is in a lot of trouble, or at least the trading around it is in a lot of trouble. Monday, before the president even announced on, what was that, Tuesday afternoon, that the government's essentially propping Kodak up to make viruses, going from being a crappy camera company up to a biotech company. That's just a little weird. So we had this massive gap up, and then another gap up, and up another 12% today. So I'm buying some puts down here. But apparently some Rochester, New York reporters, tweeted out this info that was supposed to be non-public, and people took it and ran with it. So a lot of potential bad in Kodak here, and I think it fills this gap. So this is why I bought these 20 puts down here. I think it's going to fill this gap in a month. Just because the government's propping it up doesn't mean the stock keeps going up and doesn't pull back. Look at Boeing. Boeing's essentially propped up by the government, and it's kind of a crappy stock. Brazil reopens to foreigners despite virus crisis, so they finally have opened up to foreign travel by airplane, hoping to revive its lockdown devastated tourism industry. They are getting just obliterated down there. Heartbreaks for Brazil. Love the people, love the food. Just a great just a great place. And the EWZ really has kind of come off. Well, here were the lows. Right around here, I reported that the Brazilian central bank is actually buying stocks, or, the Brazilian government is the largest shareholder in a lot of their largest companies, Petrobras, Vale, um, and they're just buying equities here. So good. I'd be bullish on the EWZ, and we've talked about if things get worse with China, EWZ is definitely going to be the place to be, because they're not gonna buy one soybean from us. They're gonna go get it down in Brazil. Standard funny headlines on the Global Times. U.S. hegemonic ambition in South China Sea cannot be concealed. No to the new Cold War with China. An African American perspective. What? Okay. China hacked the Vatican. This is how nice and upstanding the Communist Chinese Party is, the CCP. China hacked the Vatican ahead of negotiations. The alleged breaches come ahead of negotiations regarding the appointment of bishops in China. It's a disgraceful, disgusting country, and the CCP is a mortal enemy of the United States of America and the world and freedom. They're coming for you, folks. They're coming for all of us. My God, man, they got us sick. They're sending us invasion of the body snatcher seeds. It's bad. They're throwing out of our embassies. They're hacking into our stuff. They stole our Joint Strike Fighter plans. They stole our submarine plans. Just China, it's bad. China is not a good, friendly country. Look at the S&P 500. Nice turnaround today. We had a double bottom here, and it really hasn't looked back. We've gotten half the gap back. So we had a gap down at the open on the president's pre-market tweets, and we've officially gotten half the gap back. That's actually kind of bullish, to be honest with you. So 13% of the S&P 500 report earnings after the close. This is going to be big. As I said, Facebook, Amazon, Apple, and Google. So we'll see what they do. Also yesterday, just also with the tech CEOs that testified, they did okay, but they really did not look okay. I mean, the fact that the Google guy, yeah, he was great. The guy from Texas said, "Hey, man." General Joseph Dunford, United States Marine Corps, then chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, under testimony, under penalty of perjury, said that you are working actively with the Chinese People's Liberation Army. I forget the dude's answer. It was a non-answer. Of course they are. They bailed out of Pentagon contracts. They bailed because the Pentagon isn't aligned with our corporate values. That should tell you something. So there were some punches landed. Jeff Bezos looked a little flat-footed with some of his answers about his anti-competitive practices, which they're clearly doing. Oh, well, we're investigating that. You're doing it, so admit it. Anyway, the other big news was obviously the Fed. And what did the Fed say? It's Fed fatigue now. They were all in before. Now they're like all in. More Fed. I mean, it's just we're literally one step away from the Fed buying stocks. That's essentially the last thing they have on their break glass in case of emergency. I mean, the guy did a good job yesterday saying, he was Scotty in the engine room. I'm giving you all I got, Captain. I can't give you any more. We need Washington. We need elected people to step up and start doing stuff. The Fed only has so many tools, and to be honest with you, we're probably operating outside of our charter anyway, so we need maybe Washington to step in. How about this? Look at the second quarter GDP print. This looks like where the Titanic's buried. This is I clearly I've never seen this is the biggest drop since 1958. U.S. Q2 GDP crashes by a record 32.9. That's insane. Excuse me. So here you go. Yeah, tweets and articles sent Kodak share surging before the official announcement. That's illegal. So if you're hearing my voice and you traded on Kodak stuff with non-public information, you most likely are going to get a phone call, an email, and start getting your statements together about how you knew about what was going on in Kodak. So, but if you got it from the two Rochester reporters, Kodak sent a news advisory to media outlets without indicating the information wasn't intended to be released publicly. So we'll see. The Journal's really starting to dig into this, folks. If if these two reporters kind of tipped off some college buddies to make a quick buck, a lot of people could potentially end up in jail here. So be very careful trading something that's undergoing stuff like that. So Amazon after the close, I think they're going to do fantastic. Apple, I don't think is going to do super fantastic. Facebook, I don't care about. I hope it goes out of business. And the same thing with Google. Lawsuit, JP Morgan gave preferential treatment to large clients seeking PPP loans. The gatekeeper allowed large clients to cut in line. I know this for a fact. I got denied like 4 or 5 times by JP Morgan. I'm a private wealth client with them. I went over to City National and they're like, they got it done within an hour and it was approved and funded. JP Morgan, they kept saying resubmit, denied. They charged a fee every time they denied my loan. And this dude is suing them. I think this is a great lawsuit. The Washington Blue Blood banks. Come on, folks. Are you shocked to know that these banks kind of use this PPP program to their advantage? For the love of God, man, the Fed's actually buying ETFs, and they're doing it through BlackRock. How the hell does that work? They're using the world's largest hedge fund to buy stuff. This is gross. When the government gets involved with Wall Street banks to get things done, if you don't think there's going to be nefariousness, you're an idiot. So we did in our weekly options brief today, we did a bear call spread on JP Morgan out the next Friday, the 98.5, 99 bear call spread. And JP Morgan was getting hammered earlier. Let's see how it's looking right now. Yeah, well, gap down, and it's kind of skimming along the treetops here. It didn't recover with the overall market, which is good. So I like that that better call spread on JP Morgan. I think this thing's. I don't think the financials are in a good position at all. I would not be bullish on the financials. So, all right, good. I got to get going. I think the is this processed? Yep, there we go. I'm going to post the weekly debrief right now, the replay on the member page. The Kodak trades long puts are up there. The JP Morgan bear call spread is up there, and now the replay will be up there. Whoops. When I do this, when I copy and paste it. Okay, have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and God bless. And I'll talk to you on Monday, or actually tomorrow, for Friday's market wrap-up. We'll see you.